Okay, in Surah Al-Luqman, when our Prophet Luqman alayhi salam was trying to educate and counsel his child about the knowledge of God, he said, Ya bunaya, oh my son, innaha intakum mithqala habati min khardal. He said, if there is anything whatsoever as small, as tiny as the monster seed, fatakun fi sakhratin, and that thing is within a rock, a very big rock, aw fi samawati aw fil ard, or you find these things anywhere in the seven skies or in the earth, yahati biha Allah, God will bring that in house. In Allah al-Latif, God is the perspective, al-Khabir is the all-knowing. You can see he was also, educating his child on the oneness and the mightiness of God. He said, if there's anything as very tiny as a monster seed, and that thing is within a rock, or is hidden anywhere in the heaven and the earth, God says, I will bring that thing out for you. Quran chapter 16, verse 27 says, وَلَوْ آنَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ مِنْ شَجَرَةٍ أَقْلَامٌ. If all the trees on earth serve as pens, that for instance, all the trees on earth from all the continents in the world, African continent, Asian continent, American continent, Australia, if all the trees you can find in all these continents across the universe serve as pens, وَالْبَحَرُ يَمُودُهُ, and oceans as the ink, as that will serve that pen to write, min ba'dihi. Then after that, oceans, sab'atun abuhuri, we have another 7 oceans that will replenish those inks in case they are exhausted. Ma nafid datu kalimatullah. All these trees and the oceans and the 7 oceans that will replenish them, what they will write, all of them will reach exhaustion, and they cannot do justice to the encomium of Almighty Allah. They cannot do justice to the praises, to the encomium of Almighty God. La nufidat, ma nufidat kalimatullah. They can't do justice to the encomium, to the praises of God, to the words of God. They can't do justice to the words of God. In Allah Azizu Hakim. God is the mighty, is the almighty, and is the all-wise. Look at that. For you to understand how mighty, how incomprehensible Almighty Allah is, that if all the trees in the world serve as bios, as pens, and oceans as the ink, and 7 big oceans to replenish those oceans when they are exhausted, they cannot do justice to the words of God. That is our mightiness. So how God is amplified and multiplied beyond the widest dream of any mortal beings. If you're a man of flesh, there's a little to what you can understand about God, because it's beyond our imagination. So the best way to seek God is to reflect on his creatures, because the signs and wonders in everything he has created is enough as a proof that he truly exists. Now let's go to Quran chapter 29. Alam tara anna Allah yuliju layla fi nahar. Can't you see how the night succeeds the day? Wa yuliju nahara fi layl. And now the day succeeds the night. Wasakharat shamsan wal qamara. And God has harnessed the sun and the moon. Kullu yajri ila hajali musama. All of them rise at the appointed times. So wa'anna Allah bima ta'maluna khabir. God knows whatever we do, whatever we do in the secrets, and whatever we do in the open. Almighty Allah is aware of everything we do in our daily attitude, in our dispositions. So now, that is that about that. So let's quickly look at another thing, that's how you have to understand the mightiness of Almighty Allah. He says, Ma khalqukum وَلَا بَعْثُكُمْ إِلَّا كَالنَّفْسِ وَاحِدَةٍ. That if you're still confused, you're still not clear about the mightiness of Almighty Allah, that you don't know how it works. So whatever you think you have, as multitude as we could be on earth, and whatever He has created as human beings, as animals, wherever we may be, God says, all of us, ma khalqukum wala ba'thukum illa kan nafsi wahidatin. That our creation, the way He created us, and the way He's going to take our lives, is just like one soul. So the way He has created everybody, all the human beings and animals, is like one soul to Him. In Allah as-Sami' al-Basir, God is all hearing and is all seeing. So if you still think, all the things in the world, how can God take control over them? He says, no, you don't bother. All the creations of the world, I have control over them, because every living soul, all of them put together, just like one soul before God. So how I created you, and I'm going to, how you are going to call, resurrect, in the day of judgment, is the knowledge of God, and I think I do that with ease. Now, this is another point I want to bring about understanding God. God does not have beginning. Huwa al-awwalu laysa qablahu shay'an wa huwa al-akhiru laysa ba'dahu shay'an. He is the first, that nothing preceded Him, and He's going to be the last, that nothing is going to succeed Him. So if you understand God like that, then somebody who does not have beginning, how do you uncover the beginning of that person? He's living, he only understands what He created. He knows the beginning of everything. So nobody can uncover his if we are yet to uncover His mystery, the mystery about his existence, how much more we are going to know how He lived, or how He does not have beginning, and nothing is ever going to succeed Him. He is the end, the beginning and the end. He is the Alpha and the Omega. If you understand God as a being that cannot be uncovered by any form of knowledge and understanding, then you start to do yourself a favor. And based on these submissions that we have come with, I don't think anyone needs the wisdom of Solomon to understand that there is an intelligence behind the creation of the world, and God truly exists. So now, in Allah in Dawil Musaha, to God belongs to the knowledge of Allah. Knowledge of Allah is the knowledge of the end time. God says, who knows among you the knowledge of Allah? Nobody knows that. So when God says, I send down the rain from the heaven. There's some geographical explanation to how it rains. We understand it's the radiation of the form of sun that evaporates the water to the air, and it turns it to a gaseous state, and it comes down as a downpour. Fine, there is no question about that. But all these formations is pre-designed by Almighty Allah. So وَيَعْلَمْ مَا فِي الْأَرْحَامِ, God said, I know what you conceal in what is concealed in the wombs of your women. When your women are put in the family way, okay, now the science says you can, when you do what's it called, scan can reveal what is in the womb. We understand that, but scan cannot say to you Sa'idun or Shakiyun. Can the scan reveal what the child is going to come to be in life? The scan cannot reveal if the child is going to be successful or if the child is going to be unsuccessful. That knowledge solely belongs to Allah. So, وَمَا تَدْرِ نَفْسٌ مَاذَا تَقْسِبُ غَدًا. وَمَا تَدْرِ نَفْسٌ مَاذَا تَقْسِبُ غَدًا. Can any one of you say what you are going to be doing tomorrow by this hour? You can even have a schedule. You can plan yourself. Okay, this is how I want my day to go tomorrow, but it may not necessarily turn out to be so, because God can even come with a lot of things that can alter your schedule. So what you are going to be doing tomorrow, and that tomorrow is not the tomorrow is not, it cannot be seen literally like just tomorrow. What you are going to be doing in the future, nobody knows what he or she will become in the future. If everybody knows what you are going to turn to, to in the future, then everybody will just go to rest. You won't have to hustle, because okay, by this time next year my springboard will come, I will hit jackpot. And so, but nobody knows, nobody has that idea. Only God knows when you are going to make success, and when you are going to hit your, you're going to meet your travails, because life is in two ways, the yawmal lana wa yawmal ladaina. So the days that are for us and the days that are against us. So wama tadri nafsu bihayyi aw the tamut. Does anyone know where he or she is going to die? Nobody knows what death will kill you, how you are going to die, where you are going to die. Nobody knows. That knowledge is extremely, belongs to God. So nobody knows that. That's why He's God. So, Allah alimun khabir. God is the all-knowing, and He's the most knowledgeable. So that is that about understanding God. So you want to understand God in a very simple understanding. You understand God, in the best way you can. And there can be equality, in our understanding about our Creator. You can understand Him in a way. I can only understand Him in another way. So we can't have, a consensus understanding, but we can all understand Him as the Creator. But the way and manner I can amplify my understanding may not be the same way you also, understand your own. So that is the little we can say about how to seek God. So for anybody seeking God, you seek God. Yatafakkaruna fi khalqihi. Seek God for what Almighty Allah has created. Walla yatafakkaru fi satihi. Don't always say, who is He? Where is He? Where does He live? These are things you cannot get answers to from now till the end of time. So may Almighty Allah accept this as an act of ibadah, and may we understand this, digest this information, and make it as an instrumentation to better us in Iman and ibadah. So we have come to the end of this episode. We are still going to continue on, further. Our next episode will be, where does God really live? Where is He? Is He in the sky? Is He in the head? Is He everywhere? So that is another aspect we are going to be looking at in our next episode, till we go further and further to, to do justice to this topic to the best of our knowledge. So may Almighty Allah accept this bit for us as an act of ibadah, and increase us in iman, in ibadah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wassalamu ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Please don't always forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Instagram and Facebook is Zahar al-Haq TV, and please keep tab on our subsequent videos. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.